This is one of those Gospels that makes me nervous, I guess I would say, as a disciple. That very last line, he was amazed at their lack of faith. Please, God, let that not be said about any of us. Connecting it back to yesterday's Gospel, do not be afraid, just have faith. I was sharing yesterday how in the concrete, what does that exhortation to just have faith mean? It means to let him close, to let him in, to let him in. That's directly related to what we're seeing in this gospel today. And that's part of what's like terrifying, I guess, that we have this capacity to keep him out. We have this capacity to set the governor in the relationship, to say, this is how far I'll let you go. This is how deep I'll let you probe into my heart and my life. I am sovereign over my heart. That the Lord doesn't approach your heart like a SWAT team. He doesn't approach your life like a SWAT team. He knocks and he waits. And he doesn't barge in. We can resist him. That's the thing, right? I can resist him. We can, just like the people of his native place, we can render our hearts unreachable. Unreachable. And it seems to be the case that the more familiar I am with him, the more familiar you are with him, the more likely it is that we'll impose false expectations from previous experiences, limiting who he can be for me going forward, or what I think he can do for me, or what I'll even allow myself to be open to. Like when you look at this scene from Jesus' life, the crowds in the synagogue, again, there was the word that we had from yesterday, thambeo. They were astonished, right? They were astonished at him. They sensed in him this electricity, this power moving through him, flowing out of him, but they had insulated themselves and rendered themselves like unreachable, unshockable, with three little words. Is he not? Those are the words. Is he not the carpenter's son? Is he not the son of Joseph and Mary? Is he not who we think he is? Like, we already know who you are. Like, you're Jesus. You're the carpenter's son, the son of Mary, the brother of James and Joseph and Judas and Simon. And we know your sisters. And by the way, in case we're getting nervous about what that means biblically, in the ancient world, they didn't have a word for like a blood brother or a blood sister. They're speaking about his relatives. This could be cousins, extended family, right? Like, what they're saying is, like, we know you. This is why this gospel scares me. This is why it challenges me. It's because I can do the same thing, right? That we can do the same thing to Jesus. We have our history of how we're used to him relating to us in prayer, how we're used to him speaking to us, or like, Lord, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to ask. I know how you're going to respond. I know how you're going to show up or maybe not show up when I go to pray. Like, I know how this works, Jesus. I know how this works. I know what you'll say. I know what you'll ask me to do, and how we insulate our hearts and prevent ourselves from experiencing the more. Like, I don't want us to be a native place to Jesus that presumes that I know him already, that I know what he's going to say, what he's going to do, that I've got him figured out. Like, the moment that we do that, we've domesticated Aslan, right? Again, but he's not a domesticated cat. He's wild. He is wild. He's not tame. And the thing he's most wild about is your heart. So do not put up the defenses or the walls that say, I know you. I know how this works. We don't. Amen.